Night has come to Yokohama in Japan, but day 2 of the Rugby World Cup is far from done. The best saved till last. This, the clash in very good weather conditions between the champions of the last 3 World Cups. The New Zealand All Blacks, back-to-back champions of the last 2. South Africa, winners in 2007. There is a real sense of anticipation here at the International Stadium. Pool B, and right at the top there, New Zealand against South Africa, the best against the best. Below them, Italy, Namibia, Canada. They will struggle to qualify and get past these 2 giants of the world game. The Springboks will be wearing their traditional green and gold shirts. Their coach, Rassie Erasmus, who has transformed the fortunes. Siya Kolisi, the inspirational captain. South Africa have Dwayne Vermeulen at number 8, winning his 50th cap. Ilan Etzebeth, the giant in the second row. Good evening, Chris Patterson.
Yeah, good evening, Eddie. And we'll have a look at the giants in the front row here with Stephen Kitsoff, Malcolm Marx and Frans Malherbe up front for South Africa. A lot will depend on their set piece, and then a bit of bulk in the second row as well. Etzebeth and Munster, both excellent line-out exponents, but will carry the ball hard in open play and put a big shift defensively. The back row's impressive as well. Peter Steph du Toit, definitely one to keep an eye on. Vermeulen there, Dwayne Vermeulen wearing his 50th cap, 50 starts.
Faf de Klerk, a real live wire at scrum half. Henri Pollard, the point scorer, and in the centre a lot of direct running from Damien Dealande and Lucanio Am.
The back 3 has got all the experience. So Willie Leroux at fullback, Mapimpi and Kobe, bags of experience, but unbelievable amounts of speed in the wings.
The players have been out on the dry turf, plenty of experience. On the bench, Frans Steyn, wearing 22. He was the youngest ever winner in 2007 at the age of 20. The All Blacks, wearing blue for their arrival. They will change into their traditional All Black kit. Bowden Barrett, the outside half, wearing number 15 today. And Steve Hansen, the coach in his last campaign. Plenty of home support in Japan for both teams, and experience galore throughout this All Black pack. Joe Moody, Dane Coles, Nepu Naulala, Sam Whitelock, well over 100 caps, so much experience in the second row. And Kieran Reid, 100 cap All Black and the captain at number 8.
Yeah, and these are the guys who control operations. Aaron Smith, quick number 9, and Richie Mang, a lot of experience will be needed from him this evening to guide his midfield and his back 3 around the field. Ryan Crotty and Anton Leonard-Brown are very good distributors of the ball. They can strike run as well. And the back 3, well, and the man at full-back, Bowden Barrett, he's this man that makes New Zealand tick. Young wings and George Bridge and Sevu Reece.
The countdown is underway. The New Zealand bench, huge experience. 21, TJ Perinara, scrum half. Sonny Bill Williams on the bench. We've had 2 games of high drama already. Jérôme Garcès of France, the referee. Siya Kolisi, the captain. Kieran Reid, the captain of New Zealand, who has won the toss. Which is head, which is tails.
Sorry. No problem.
Sorry.
Left to right.
Kieran Reid, it would appear, has won the toss.
Cool. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Good luck, and on we go.
Fans coming together, real excitement about this one. It's a massive fixture on the opening weekend of Rugby World Cup 2019. That's taking you inside the dressing room of the Springboks.
They don't seem to have eaten much of the food on display.
That'll be for after, I think, Eddie. That'll be for after.
Wearing 17, one of the characters of the game. Tendai Mtawarira, known universally as the Beast. And not far away, the All Blacks in their huddle, getting ready. Kieran Reid with the headband. There's so much ceremony to go with the build-up to the game. None more so than just before kickoff, when we'll have what they call the cultural challenge, better known
As the Haka.
as the Haka.
Always looks pretty calm in there, doesn't it?
It would appear that Dwayne Vermeulen will lead the Springboks out, winning his 50th international cap today. Behind him, Sia Kolisi, the captain. The teams wait. The last few seconds, they will be summoned to the field by the sound of the taiko drums. Romain Poit just going through shots. Assistant referee on the touchline. The slow march. Kieran Reid has done this so many times as the All Black captain. Sam Whitelock with the beard behind the captain. Over 230 caps between them. Kieran Reid, Sam Whitelock. Sam Whitelock, the youngest to get to 100. By the time he was 29, he was over the century. Aaron Smith, one of the little masterminds at scrum half.
For the first one. Okay.
The drums begin their beat. Bowden Barrett towards the back of the line. And off we go, and out they come. For 98 years, New Zealand have been playing South Africa at rugby. They have played each other 98 times. New Zealand with the advantage, but in almost all of those 98 years, this is the fixture that has set the gold standard of world rugby. There will be thunder at the International Stadium. There will also be calm, good wishes. Sonny Bill Williams wearing 22. Ofa Tuwingafasi wearing 17. As ever, before the game, we shall have the national anthems of the two countries. Troarea, God defend New Zealand. And now the national anthem of South Africa, beginning with Kozisikelele Africa. Two teams that know each other so well pass through each other's midst. The All Blacks into formation for the Haka. It is a challenge. It is a challenge like no other. TJ Perenara will lead it. And so the question is asked, South Africa, are you ready for this? Last, which is after the Haka. Alex Smith. TJ Perenara. A pair of scrum halves. South Africa, are you ready for this? It would appear so.
Francois Lois.
A perfect rugby shape. On the New Zealand 22, Rassie Erasmus, the Springbok coach. Steve Hansen, the All Black coach. Good evening, Steve. Kieran Reid, captain of the All Blacks, against South Africa, who will receive the kickoff. The last few seconds, just waiting, anxious moments. Beauden Barrett, stay calm, keep your thoughts together. Wearing 14 for the All Blacks, Sevu Reece. One of the relative newcomers, Adi Sarea, Sam Whitelock. Newcomers and highly experienced players. Sam Kane from the back row. Everybody just breathing in. Ryan Crotty, stay calm, be prepared. There was a little breeze in the air earlier, but not much at the moment. The pitch in perfect condition. Tonight's referee, Jérôme Garcès of France. The All Blacks against the Springboks, a classic, always. Faf de Klerk at scrum half with the long blonde hair.
Inside.
First hands on the ball. Back to André Pollard. Beauden Barrett's first touch. The little chip kick for himself to chase. Missed for Newland. No offside, no touch on the ball. Strong run by the number 8. De Klerk again. Barrett leaves it for George Bridge, who caught it well. Penalty to South Africa.
Well, we've seen nerves in the opening exchanges of the game so far in Rugby World Cup 2019, but that was really controlled by the South Africans. Faf de Klerk just asking, looking for confirmation from referee. And André Pollard's going to have a shot at goal right away. One or two excellent kicks from the Springboks got them out of danger. A really good chase from Colbert and a contest in the air with George Bridge, his opposite number. Bridge does well initially to get up and win that. He dominates the space, he wins the ball, and it's Kits off the front row. In over the top of the ball, strong as an ox, wide base, and All Blacks can't move him.
What?
It's a big kick into the wind. I think Pollard will be into what breeze there is. We know he has a range in him, but this is a long way out for a first kick of the match.
Just inside the All Black half, André Pollard, certainly long enough. And straight enough, South Africa take the lead in Yokohama. New Zealand 0, South Africa 3.
Well, that's an excellent strike. Really good kick. It's 52 metres out on the angle, into a slight breeze, just on the field, under 2 minutes. All the composure, all the power. And it's an efficient start, a very good start from South Africa.
Beauden Barrett with the restart slightly downwind. Well taken by Willy Leroux.
Back!
De Klerk to Pollard. Kept in the field of play. And it's retrieved by the Springboks. De Klerk. And it's Sevu Reece coming off his wing. That's a good tackle by Faf de Klerk, who is by a distance the shortest player on the field. First bit of possession for the All Blacks. Aaron Smith has to dig it out inside from Beauden Barrett. Not really what Severis would have wanted, but the All Blacks have the penalty.
Yeah, it's a penalty against that man. Peter Steph du Toit is going beyond the ball and putting his hands on the ground. You can see the intent that the South Africans want to bring through their defence. They're getting off the line really quickly, putting the All Blacks under pressure. But the All Blacks are comfortable with that, and you can see Peter Steph du Toit here, number 7. His hands hit the turf, past the ball before he contests the ball. This is Colby's second kick he regathered. A good start.
Richie Mo'unga takes it high into the air. And it's just gone for, or was the mark made? If it was an excellent catch. Cheslin Colby again.
That's 3 from 3 for Cheslin Colby. 2 attacking kicks is chased and caught. That's a defensive kick under a huge amount of pressure. It's a good kick by Mo'unga. Held up in the wind, but excellent from Colby.
No, stay at 10.
And a healthy boot to touch. Cheslin Colby, just his 11th test.
Green,
5 tries.
keep the mark. No, keep the mark.
Dane Coles, the thrower. Sam Whitelock towards the tail. It's gone forward. Every game so far today has started scrappily. This, no exception.
Well, that's actually a really good throw by Dane Coles. It's a good call. It's a right decision. It's obviously a pre-planned move to go right over the top to Severis, and it's just Severis is just probably a second too late in getting there and stretching for the ball. You can see the space that we're trying to attack. Crotty was in support as well. Finely tuned.
Good building.
First scrimmage on this near side, the front row. Joe Moody
10.
against Frans Malherbe.
Crush.
Faf de Klerk, it's his put-in.
Bind. Set.
Malherbe will have to absorb most of the drive from that all-black combination. Good position by the tight head. Good possession for the Springboks. Bowden Barrett, brilliant, does very well. Lucanio set off in hot pursuit.
Black on the line.
Well read
Black.
by Bowden Barrett.
It was an excellent scrum from South Africa to start with. An attacking kick is deployed. We'll see a lot of that in this Rugby World Cup. But Bowden Barrett was equal to it. Plays a lot of his rugby at number 10 in the fly half roll. But his understanding of the backfield and covering every blade of grass was important there, and he did well to get over, although he did concede the throw-in to South Africa.
Here's the other hooker, Malcolm Marks. Safely down and into midfield, where Damien Dielende leads the charge. Now it comes to Franco Mostert, the second row. Change of direction, Willy Leroux involved. Siya Kolisi, the captain. Quickly delivered for Mullen. Plenty of forwards outside. Pollard to one of them, Stephen Kitsoff. The change of direction for Mullen again. Kolisi right on his shoulder. De Klerk waits. Etzebeth with the drive. The other second row, Mostert. That's a huge double hit. Sam Cane, the lower of the two tacklers. De Klerk goes high again. That will land outside the 22. That's a knock-on. Marks, a real handful in the loose. Colby too. There is an advantage being played for South Africa. They can have a little free play here, so they go wide. And it might just work for them. Makazole Mapimpi up to the 22. Willy Leroux plays scrum half to the real number 9. And again, the Springboks drive into the All Blacks 22. Is the advantage still being played? No, it's not. It's gone forward, and the All Blacks have the put in.
No point. Advantage over when you give the pass. 12. 12. 12. 12.
Jerome Garces here. He's calling over
9.
Damien Dialenda and Aaron Smith.
Shake your hands. Okay.
He's making them shake hands. It's a good way of keeping the lid on any emotion that's going to spill over early on.
Well, it really is an incredible atmosphere down here at pitchside. 72,000 people here, and the powering half of Yokohama. It's electric.
Rob Vickerman, our man down at ground level.
The ball.
That was a good defensive set there from New Zealand, because South
Good
Africa
pass.
tried one or two different things. Villarreal was paramount in that. He had a long pass, he had a short pass, he was in at scrum half, mixing up the attack. Was well defended in the end by the All Blacks, who met with physicality and had the opportunity to exit from the scrum.
Aaron Smith to feed the scrimmage.
Now stay behind.
It's a very steady one for the All Blacks. Ryan Crotty drives it up hard, wearing 12. Aaron Smith under pressure from Gwen Vermeulen and Franco Mostert. Springboks reclaim possession and then give away the penalty.
First man on his feet is strong.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for Henry Pollard. He made a really good tackle on Ryan Crotty, and then the pressure on the box kick from Aaron Smith, caused a deflection. Pollard popped to his feet. He managed to catch the deflected ball, which is a really difficult skill. This is the pressure coming from Vermeulen, chasing behind Smith. Mostert as well with a follow through, and that ball ricocheted. Pollard did well to pick it up, but he was isolated and turned over.
Kieran Reid gives the line-out signal, and it's slightly loose from Scott Barrett. Here come the All Blacks. Pollard forced to make a tackle. Sia Khaleesi wriggling to get free. Adi Sarea, Peter Steph Dutoy grappling with him. His second row, Scott Barrett again. Ryan Crotty. Richie Mo'unga goes the other way, so it's left to Sam Whitelock to lead the charge on this side. Bowden Barrett.
No, Rook!
Aaron Smith, slightly bobbly into midfield. Good pressure from Peter Steph Dutoy again. All Blacks reclaim the ball. Mo'unga, and it's gone loose again. Good pick up, Coles. Reid tries the offload. Another bouncing ball. Mapimpi applies pressure. It's gone loose again. Sevu Reece. And it's gone loose again. Mo'unga. All Blacks going backwards and then through. Bowden Barrett suddenly forwards until another blast from Jerome Garces.
Yeah, it was a knock-on advantage, very scrappy encounter there. You can see defence is really on top.
Really can feel this pressure coming from the South African outfit. They're closing down any space that New Zealand are trying to have, and they're getting caught static, and it's playing into their hands. Really is a dominant start. A lot of this game seems to be playing in the New Zealand territory.
Yeah, defences are certainly on top. Sam Cane, who's getting a bit of treatment off the ball. It looked like it had a head knock. Whether he'll be off for a head injury assessment or not, we'll wait and see. But it looked in a little bit of trouble in the backfield. But as you catch your breath, this game so far has been dominated by, well, from my point of view, two things. One's defence. The players are so organised. They're getting the right numbers at the breakdown and then being able to come on at line speed. And the second one is just errors. Time and time again errors. There's the collision between the two number 7s. Sam Cane's hip just hitting Peter Steph Dutoy. Sam Kane's head hitting Peter Steph Toy's hip.
Well, that really should see Sam Kane going off for a head injury assessment.
It should do, because he's got a history of, unfortunately, with his history is 1 or 2 head injuries. Sam Kane, we hope he's okay. The medics on field will know best.
The Green speak about your lucet, about the elbow. Okay, guys, work strong here. Keep your elbow here. Much better than this. In this side, keep walking. It's perfect. Yeah.
Well, everybody seems happy with the
Well, the first scrum was good.
scrummaging.
It was a decent contest to see Steve Hansen in the centre there, New Zealand head coach. He'll be. He won't be too happy with the opening 12 minutes. I think 1 or 2 mistakes. Defensively, it looked sound, but both teams can spark into life at any given moment with the attacking threat on the field.
Fine. Sit.
Aaron Smith again feeds the scrum. The All Blacks still
Stay behind,
in their own half.
behind.
Kieran Reid digs in for it. Smith under pressure then. Gets it away one-handed. And that's supreme pressure on Anton Linnett-Brown, who did very well to sort out the mess. As good driving by Kolisi,
No.
disrupting the All Blacks supply. Barrett, Kane under pressure. The All Blacks trying to play football from a long way inside their own half. This is Sevu Reece going not very far. Colby and Jutoy chasing him down. Moanga to Vili Leroux.
It's more of the same, isn't it? That signature blitz defence from the Springboks, the South Africans. It's not only the blitz defence, it's some really intelligent defending. And Sevu Reece from that scrum, the New Zealand right-hand winger, was on the left-hand side of the scrum, which allowed Faf de Klerk to get in the passing lane between Aaron Smith and the New Zealand attackers. So there's some really good decision-making, but the line speed and the pressure they're putting under New Zealand means they can't get any flow to their attack.
Coach Erasmus will be perhaps the happier of the two coaches. Malcolm Marx listens carefully for the signal, prepares the throw. Even Etzebeth with the catch. Marx takes his position at the back of the maul, ripped free by Adi Savea, but knocks it forward in the process.
But forward. It's a read forward. Scrum. It's a read by Black. Forward. Scrum.
Yeah, it's ripped forward, isn't it? It's a good skill by Adi Savea, but maybe just lost his orientation, his bearings a little bit there. Because he's caught on the wrong side behind the ball, he rips it and it goes forward.
Guys, here. It's a
There,
read by Black.
there's a knock on.
But it's forward already.
It just shows the danger of running back against a wheel.
It means the defender can come round and take that space. Adi Savea, usually a number 7.
If I am happy to wait.
All Blacks have normally 2 open sides in Savea and Kane, who are exactly good at that, ripping the ball, getting in over the ball in the jackal position, winning steals, as Malcolm Marx has taken a knock, the South African hooker. He's of similar ilk, actually. Really effective in the breakdown, Malcolm Marx.
Malcolm Marx says he's fine. It will be a scrum down. South Africa to put in.
And his reward for being fine is to pack down in the scrum. New Zealand obviously, they picked 2 number 10s in terms of Moanga and Bowden Barrett at 15. And one of the ideas behind that was to combat the blitz, the line speed, the fast defence of South Africa by using their kicking game. And they haven't kicked a lot at all. You see the stats there. 5 missed tackles already from the South Africa. But sometimes that missed tackle's not a bad thing, because it's forcing the attack to go somewhere else to be tackled. That's it's a bit too deep, but that's the top line of blitz defending. Force the attack to go where they don't want to go.
Scrummage goes down. Referee allows play to go on. Dielende. Tackled by Richie Moanga. Now this is an interesting drive by the South African forwards. Good for them. Etzebeth takes on responsibility, big solo charge, the strong man of the South African pack. Marks, very dynamic in the loose, presents for de Klerk, penalty advantage for South Africa. Under pressure, New Zealand. Dialende plays scrum half, kicks off just over the 22. Still an advantage being played. Cheslin Kolbe, good tackle by Coles. Marks, good offload to Pollard and to Etzebeth, who he too looked for the pass and then chose not to give it. Pollard, Kolbe against Mo'unga. Mo'unga does well and will minor. No advantage, says Jérôme Garcès. Penalty still. Oh no.
Offside.
Yes, offside. It is the penalty.
3 black. Offside.
Yeah. Number 3 black. Nipo Laulala, the tight head prop, penalised for offside. A long advantage here from Jérôme Garcès. The Springboks they're varying their attack. He's just not getting out of the way quick enough. Faf de Klerk knows what he's doing as well. He's targeting the man there. But he is an obstruction, Laulala, and it's quite rightly a penalty. It was a long advantage after that, and Springboks are moving the point of attack often. Cheslin Kolbe is just so quick, the number 14 for South Africa. He was actually caught on his heels a little bit when the kick went in. Because of his pace, he makes it really difficult for Mo'unga.
I think they still call it lazy running.
I think so.
Nepo Laulala just a bit lazy getting back onside. He knew what he was doing. Faf de Klerk knew what he was doing, running at him.
And Jérôme Garcès knew best.
Pollard. Now there's danger. Oh, bounces over Steph Dutoit's head, but Sia Khaleesi picks it up. How hard did that come off the post? Still a good attacking position for the Springboks. That's a pass with plenty of air on it. Franco Mostert. Dialende again. De Klerk has a little look at that blind side and then brings it open to Marks. He was interested in that blind side, and Sevu Rees has to go back and then sling the dangerous pass and put Beauden Barrett under pressure, and Barrett does very well to get his kick away.
That's an outstanding clearance kick from Beauden Barrett. Well marshalled by Sevu Rees. Faf de Klerk has a wry smile because he thought there was some space in behind the young winger, but Rees does really well to get back initially, tiptoe down the line, dive past it inside, and look at the pressure on Beauden Barrett here. Mapimpi and Peter Steph du Toit through the fingertips and up to almost the 10-metre line. Excellent play from the fullback.
Sia Khaleesi catches his breath. His one concern will be only the 3 points from all this pressure so far. Marks just gently curls it into Peter Steph du Toit.
Keep your mind.
Marks has the ball. De Klerk wants it. It's gone loose. Leroux has to turn. That's the breakaway. Richie Mo'unga has it the pace to go all the way. Mapimpi headers back. All Blacks in a wonderful opportunity, and South Africa give away the penalty. This could be dangerous. Give away a penalty here. It could be a card.
It's a clear not releasable. 11. I want to know which number. If it's 11 or no. Graham.
I don't think it's the prop, Jérôme.
No. I want to know if it's 11 or no.
Mapimpi not releasing the tackle. Wonderful cover
I
tackle.
want to know the number.
But after you make the tackle, you must release. Let go of the player before you
I want to
try
know exactly the number of the player.
get back to the ball. He's looking for the player number. It's number 11, Mapimpi.
Yeah.
He got back to tackle Richie Mo'unga.
Mapimpi tackles Mo'unga.
He now has to release with his arms, Ed.
He let go.
You have to make a greater gesture with your arms before you can play the ball. A gesture saying, I'm out of it. I'm doing nothing, ref.
Okay. Okay, so it's just a penalty for you said? Okay. So it's a clear penalty against 11, really.
Only the penalty.
Only the penalty, I assume, because of the numbers of South African defenders flooding back, not making sure it wasn't going to guarantee a try score. But Makazole Mapimpi got back wonderfully well and made a tackle on Richie Mo'unga. South Africa had 78% territory so far. And you can just see as soon as the ball's turned over, you don't need territory. The fly hack, the follow-up, the tackle. And because it's, I think, the number of South African defenders that fought their way back to get in the defensive line, it wasn't a penalty try.
Here's where it all goes wrong for South Africa, the loose pass. And look how many All Black shirts are in hot pursuit. And Mapimpi does so well to get back. And in a way, the Springboks will be happy to give away the 3 points there and keep 15 on the field.
I think so. It's just a glimpse of how quickly defence can turn into attack, though, isn't it? Mo'unga did well to read the situation, get his boot to ball. In a few games he probably would have made the line, but Mapimpi is a flying machine. As you say, if this goes over, I think they'll be relieved. It's only 3 they've conceded.
Richie Mo'unga puts the All Blacks on the board. They're all square in Yokohama. 3 points apiece. Willie le Roux sells himself with the dive. Here goes Mo'unga, eyes on the ball. Just loses his running gait, but Mapimpi is so quick. Mo'unga presents Ryan Crotty there. Off we go again. Huge leap with a boost for Sam Whitelock. Aaron Smith outside his 22, can't kick directly for touch.
No! Steven!
Takes his time, Aaron Smith. Forward comes Vermeulen, bounces off him, back to Smith. Advantage to the All Blacks. Mo'unga, well, that's one way of getting the ball to Sevu Reece. And here goes Reece, who support from Ardie Savea through Willie le Roux. Faf de Klerk gets back with the tackle. The All Blacks pouring forward. Ryan Crotty, out it comes. Beauden Barrett. Barrett with support from George Bridge. Try for the All Blacks. How quickly this game has turned.
Well, that's a brilliant piece of counter-attack from the All Blacks. It came from the kick-off. It's a wonderful piece of skill. This is it here from Richie Mo'unga. It looks to kick long, it changes his decision, and then a stop goal from Sevu Reece leaves Mapimpi for dead. And look at the support play after this kick. Well, you won't see it, but Aaron Smith was there, Ardie Savea was here, and then when it gets recycled, Beauden Barrett takes it to the line, and George Bridge follows through, reads the support line perfectly. Beauden Barrett gets his hands free. A wonderful support line. That's 8 tries and only 6 tests for George Bridge. And that's how quick the All Blacks can strike.
Richie Mo'unga prepares for the conversion. Heavily involved in all that. The outside half from 3-0 down. 2. Is it going to be 10 points to 3 with this conversion? Led the charge. Mo'unga kept his composure. It is 10 points to 3 to New Zealand.
Well, this is just a wonderful, 2 or 3 wonderful pieces of skill. Sevu Reece, he knows exactly what to do. He slows down a little bit. Aaron Smith is in there support. Ardie Savea, who's a 7s player, initially is there support, and then Beauden Barrett, all the experience in the world, attacks the space between the defenders. George Bridge reads it, gets the offload, gets a try.
Sam Whitelock leaves it for Anton Linnert-Brown.
Back, 9.
Mo'unga, that's that kick again to Sevu Reece. And off they come again, Ardie Savea. Barrett. Suddenly involved in just about everything that's happening on the field. Stephen Kitsoff has to let go.
Penalty only.
Aronson's going to put his boot to it. It's a penalty advantage to New Zealand. Pollard goes up, loses out. All Blacks back in possession. Aaron Smith, long to Beauden Barrett. The fullback playing outside half, but prepared to play anywhere in open play down the three-quarter line. Here we go. Scott Barrett. Beauden Barrett, and again there is room on the far outside. This time Adi Savia Severis watches the flanker go. He presents, and Beauden Barrett carries on. The All Blacks having been under the cosh, now in full flow. Linnett Brown. Linnett Brown still going. Scott Barrett in support. And Scott Barrett is going all the way. What a try for the second row.
Well, the big second row finishes off. They're so athletic, this New Zealand All Black side. Again, this was multi-phase. They just kept possession. They had a penalty advantage and they kept testing the South African defence. This is from a penalty advantage kick. Pollard knocks it forward and then the All Blacks come to life. They found some space up the right-hand side. And then Dane calls up the left-hand side, beats the first man, gets his hands free. And this is Linnett Brown. There's not a lot on, but because the South Africans have made so many tackles, they're tired. And look at the timing of the pass from Linnett Brown to Scott Barrett. Scott Barrett supporting on the inside. George Bridge is there as well. New Zealand All Blacks' second try of the evening.
Back to Richie Mo'unga. Well, this has not just been a fast turnaround, it's been a lightning turnaround. It looks as if it's going to be 17 points in 6 minutes.
Exactly that, Eddie. This fast transition, this New Zealand team, as soon as they get two chances from South Africa coughing up the ball, they just go into another gear, loads of space out wide with this blitz defence, and they are absolutely flying.
Yeah, they're a little bit narrow on the left-hand side, South Africa. Mapimpi's been targeted 2 or 3 times, not only with a cross kick from Mo'unga or from Barrett, but also in defence. He's getting himself too narrow. Servia's out there. Reese is finding a little bit of space. South Africa will need to avoid that.
Anton Linnett Brown takes the kick, and Aaron Smith and George Bridge did well to head in field to stay away from the touchline. Aaron Smith, the kick game is producing dividends. Dwayne Vermeulen catches this one. A big tackle from Scott Barrett, the try scorer, the tackler. South Africa try the aerial route. Well picked up, Faf de Klerk. Well picked up again by Willie Leroux. This is Lucanio Am, the centre. Faf de Klerk settles things down a little bit. They're probably reeling, the Springboks, having been in control.
No, 3-7.
Now they're anything but.
No.
Severis, Richie Mo'unga, with Severis hovering over him. Richie Mo'unga forced out of play there.
Yeah, it's important this next phase of play for the Springboks to get their hands on the ball. They've been shell-shocked really from 3-0 up to 17-3 down. So it's and that was in 5 minutes, a 5-minute spell of blitz from New Zealand. So this is important for South Africa to get ball, to keep ball. And that's a risky play from Faf de Klerk, but Willie Leroux tidies up nicely, and they can try and apply a bit of pressure on the All Blacks to stop this game running away from them.
Malcolm Marx. Springboks take their time. Mostert wins the line out. Scott Barrett gets those long limbs over the top to prevent this maul from gaining momentum. Dialende, not going very far, and it's slow ball for Faf de Klerk. Kitsoff waits, here he is. Again, slightly laboured, so Willy Leroux goes high. Great catch, Severis. So quick, off the mark. Barrett, little dummy of the kick. Bowden, that is. The Barrett brothers. 57 sets of brothers have played for the All Blacks. 57. Aaron Smith directing the troops behind him, waits patiently for the ball. And then gets himself in a little bit of trouble. Now the Springboks, can they turn the ball their way? Not quite. Ryan Crotty comes in to play scrum half. Sam Whitelock, wearing 4, detaches himself. This is Scott Barrett. A little lull after that 17-point surge by the All Blacks.
Yeah, sensible play from Aaron Smith to get the ball for field. You can see the game has slowed down a little bit. Here's a tackle as Bowden Barrett dummies the kick and finds space. Faf de Klerk with a tackle.
Intriguing how South Africa really look like a different team when they don't have the ball and have control of the tempo. Sometimes when they've got it, they look a little bit lost and then go to that kicking game. Interesting now, gives the ball back to New Zealand, then their chance to try and build it. But South Africa need to change their plan a bit.
Certainly those missed tackles on the South African side, well into double figures. Peter Steph Dutoy drops it on the floor, marks against Adi Saver.
So those missed tackles of 16 probably came in a 5-minute spell.
De Klerk onto Kitsoff. Pollard hasn't gone very far forward. It's gone to the top of Mount Fuji, but it's well taken again, and George Bridge this time comes away with it. Bowden Barrett, the little dummy with the kick there, didn't do anything but put Severis in a spot of bother, but All Blacks still in possession. Good angle, George Bridge. Richie Mo'unga straightened the line. Kieran Reid, the captain, quick hands to Anton Linnett-Brown. Sam Kane, good hands to Ryan Crotty. Mo'unga. Scott Barrett, slightly on his own, but delivered well. Reid turns, presents. Nepu Laulala just comes in to provide a little protection for Aaron Smith. Willy Leroux waits, and it's gone forward. Sam Kane picks up the scraps. This kicking game is working well for New Zealand. It's gone forward once and twice. We'll go back to the first.
Yeah, there's a lot of kicking, isn't there? One or two of them are too long. South African kicks have gone too long. That one there was a little bit too long as well from Aaron Smith, but George Bridge has had such a start to this game. He even puts Willy Leroux under pressure, gets up there, gets a hand in the eye line of Willy Leroux, and Sam Kane, as good number 7s do, he's there to pick up the scraps. This is a pass that just falls a little bit short for Bowden Barrett. He was away if he'd taken that, and he knows it.
He knew it.
He knew it. It was on an advantage. He's such a good player, Bowden Barrett. The influences he's had already in half an hour, 34 minutes. He comes in at first receiver, he passes well, he kicks well. Think about that clearing kick from his own line. So impressive.
The front rows take their time. Aaron Smith strolls up to the scrum.
This is a good attacking opportunity, Eddie. You can see that the New Zealand backline have all lined up on the right-hand side of the scrum. George Bridge is just inside Richie Mo'unga. It's a real threat for the South African defence if they can get a solid scrum.
This is the scrummage, and behind it the All Blacks have the entire width of the field They go down the narrow side. Peter Steph-Dutoy guarded it. Oh, that'll do for the All Blacks. Another penalty.
1 first, 8, and after 4.
8 and 4 going off the feet. Jerome Garces says there, it's an interesting tactic there. It was we highlighted all the New Zealand backs on the right-hand side. There was only a 5-metre short side. Peter Steph-Dutoy had his wits about him, made a good tackle initially off the scrum, and then just that incessant pressure again coming from the All Blacks. There's Arde Sevilla, who carried down the short side. And that pressure just forces mistakes. Dwayne Vermeulen was one of those who'd gone off his feet. He's just looking for clarification from Garces.
Just thinking of half-time scorelines, it looks pretty dispiriting for Rassie Erasmus and the Springboks. If this penalty goes over, it'll be 20 points to 3, but actually that was how Argentina went into half-time against France, and what a stirring second half that turned into.
It had us captivated just in the build-up to this game, didn't it? For those of you who didn't see it, it was worth another look, but you wouldn't say it's been a 20 points to 3 game if you look at the first 36 minutes. If you cut a slice of maybe 10 minutes of it, it does. But the rest of it, you know, the opening exchanges certainly were South Africa. They had a huge amount of territory, a huge amount of possession, but didn't make it count in the scoreboard.
Just think of those 2 chances the All Blacks had, and they took them. All that pressure the Springboks had. And they're 17 points to 3 down. That miss by Richie Mo'unga, his first.
Yeah, it's a swirling wind. I think it's getting a little bit stronger again. He's a good, well, an exceptional kicker. There was only one person kicked more goals than him in Super Rugby this year. It was his opposite number, Henry Pollard. But he'll fix that error for later.
Sam Whitelock with the catch above his head. Mo'unga again. Well taken, kid, but he took man and ball and he slaps the floor because he's turned possession over. Oh. Bouncing ball, well taken in the end by Willie le Roux. We'll go back to the original knock-on. Sir Graham Henry, former coach of Wales, but more importantly, World Cup winning coach of the All Blacks in 2011.
Made a lot of changes to the way the team operated and how they behaved and what they stood for as individuals, and transformed. It was always an exceptional team into a team that's revered worldwide. It's interesting there, as soon as the mistake came from Sam Cane, there's a good tackle by Am in the midfield, forcing the error. The New Zealand backfield dropped immediately, 3 players back immediately, so as soon as Willie le Roux looked up to try and kick, the space was covered. They're so quick in that transition between attack and defence.
Sit! Okay, stay strong, stay strong.
They do stay strong for the referee, Willie le Roux. Mapimpi comes off his wing and picks up, having released the ball, perfectly permissible. Eben Etzebeth. Stephen Kitsoff in midfield. Options now either side for de Klerk. They keep going left through Damien Dialende. Gets those big, heavy legs pumping. Malcolm Marks. Not much ground there. Good tackle by Joe Moody, the prop. The kick. Bowden Barrett. Wonderful take. And it was Damien Dialende who did well to tackle Bowden Barrett because he was away down that touchline.
He just looks as if he plays with a smile on his face. I mean, that ball hit the turf, which isn't a great thing. You always try and position yourself so you can get the ball, but that's hit the turf, and he just decides to take off up the touchline. And Dialende does really well because there was a lot of space in behind there. But he's looking at an infectious person, Bowden Barrett. He looks like he enjoys it. He sets the tempo. His basics are outstanding, and his special bits are just worth watching.
Faf de Klerk is at the front of the line out. Sia Kolisi is this acting scrum half. Eben Etzebeth wins the ball. The All Blacks get the ball to the ground, which is which means the All Blacks, the Springboks, can't do a driving maul. They can attack through Faf de Klerk, though.
Now the ball is inside.
Lucanio Am plays scrum half. Kitsoff from a slightly standing start manages to get the legs going. Adi Savea dragged back long towards Cheslin Colby. He's such a lively runner. So light on his feet, beautifully balanced. Dwayne Vermeulen, that's an alternative style of making progress. Oops, did it go forward? It did. Peter Steph Dutoy. And the half-time whistle blows. Having absorbed so much pressure, the All Blacks find themselves in the lead at half-time. They trot off with a real spring in their step. They lead here in Yokohama by 17 points to 3. Well, it began promisingly for the men in green, but they go off with a 14-point deficit against them. Sia Kolisi, the captain, wearing 6. He'll have words at half-time. How to rebuild after the All Blacks struck back with 2 tries, Chris.
Yeah, it was a composed start by the Springboks. They, the worth their 3-0 lead and 78% possession, but then just the All Black can strike from there. 2 tries, the first from Bridge, the second from Scott Barrett, and some sparkling entertainment along the way.
Well, if you're waving a New Zealand flag here at the International Stadium, you have every reason. South African fans, more worrying points to ponder. It's a healthy lead for New Zealand over South Africa, 17 points to 3, but a full 40 minutes to go. Plenty of time to turn this game around. South Africa started well. Sia Kolisi, the captain, must have been pleased, but then Kieran Reid's All Blacks simply wrenched control away, and Bowden Barrett, there's his brother, Scott Barrett, on the far right of your picture. The Barrett brothers, both involved. Bowden Barrett, the playmaker, Scott Barrett, the finisher of 1 try. The All Blacks, Chris, are a very good third-quarter team.
Yeah, they know what to do, they know how to play the game, and they don't often lose a lead. South Africa have some dangerous players, that man in particular, Cheslin Colby, and Sia Kolisi will be looking for more from his team. They brought the physicality and the intensity early on there, but they looked shell-shocked once the All Blacks got on the front foot and found some space. They need to keep their width in defence, South Africa, and I think they need to attack with ball in hand more than feeding one of the potential strongest weapons in the field, which is the New Zealand back 3.
Andre Pollard has the ball, and a little breeze behind him. Jérôme Garcès, the referee, just checked something with Kieran Reid.
The wind really is beginning to swirl. We see it a few times when the ball goes a little bit higher because of the shallow roof. It can pick it up and really affect how the ball flies.
Yeah, but I can say you must, ball carrier must release too.
Sometimes you hold me and the ball.
Yeah. So when it's 50-50, I keep.
Ah.
Yeah.
There is a change on the All Black side. Patrick Tuipolotu
I will have a look about this.
is on. Sam Kane has gone off. I just wonder whether, Chris, is it sort of he has had to have a HIA, head injury assessment?
Yeah, I think so. He certainly took a
Captain
blow
Green.
earlier on there, and the game played on, and he has a history of head injuries. Hope he's okay.
The second half of Game 3 on day 2. The All Blacks, the back-to-back champions, against the South African Springboks. And it's the All Blacks who are in the driving seat at the moment. Dwayne Vermeulen in his 50th international match. And he's tackled by another replacement. Cody Taylor is on for Dane Coles in the hooking position. Ball bounces out of play pretty harmlessly, and we've got another player down.
Bowden Barrett on the far
Scrum or
side.
line out?
Bowden Barrett is down. That will be a worry for the All Blacks.
On the 5.
Yeah, he was chasing the box kick, and it was Dwayne Vermeulen who took it, and I think it was just a clash as he went to make the tackle. But already you can see 2 kicks from each of the scrum halves holding in that wind and swirling in that far touchline. This is Barrett chasing Vermeulen, and he just catches a boot. Twice, I think.
Twice, if not 3 times.
He's good
So,
to see
Captain.
he's back up on his feet.
Captain.
Bowden Barrett
Scrum or
in
line
the
out?
wars. Scrum or line out. Jérôme Garcès offers the New Zealand All Blacks. Bowden Barrett safely, if not happily, back at fullback.
It's never nice, a bash in the nose so soon after half-time, but that's it. Good take by Vermeulen in that swirling wind. The big number 8 is a hard man to put down, and
No changes in the All Black pack. Sam Kane is back out on the field, yeah. Whether he comes back on, we'll find out pretty soon. There is this permanent change at hooker. Cody Taylor is on and will stay on. Scrum goes down. I think that was the head of face of Malcolm Marks looking at the referee. Penalty to us, ref? Not yet.
and there's Sam Kane looking like he's passed his head injury assessment, looking to get back onto the field. Has Robin Touchline got any more news for us?
Yeah, he's absolutely prowling down here, Sam Kane. He wants to get straight back out there, but the referees and doctors are making sure everything's going the right way. What about Barrett at the back? He's still wiping the blood off his face. 2 boots on his nose. He's a tough lad, isn't he?
I see Ben Smith warming up as well at the side of the field, so maybe there will be a change here for a blood injury replacement. But we're going to set the scrum and see. It's a good attacking opportunity again for New Zealand. That wide left scrum.
The scrum sets. What pressure can South Africa exert? Nothing legal. Free kick against them. Bent arm of the referee means not a full penalty. It's a free kick.
To which the New Zealand All Blacks opt to take a scrum.
Movement.
South Africa are going to get back into this game. They're going to have to set a new record.
Yeah, they can though. I mean, they've got players who can score quickly. They've got the physicality up front that can dominate, but they just have to cut the errors out. And I believe I've said it already, keep the ball in hand. Force the New Zealand All Blacks to make more tackles and then get Chess and Colby and Mapimpi on the ball.
Full penalty this time. Allowed a blast from the referee. Full arm outstretched.
Well, South Africa are really going to have to come back into it. You mentioned about that record of 12 points by them in '98. New Zealand have won their last 75 games up by 7 points at half-time.
There's the reason now. Look at that. There's a scrum half who knows absolutely nothing about scrummaging except how to celebrate a penalty. Here we go then. Willie Leroux, no, it's Cheslin Colby who's flying high for it, manages to get it back to Dwayne Vermeulen who drops it, but South Africa recoup possession. Faf de Klerk back in his position. Gives it, well, to the forwards. I'm not sure whether Stephen Kitsoff really wanted that. Territory first, the forwards might be thinking. Andre Pollard obliges.
Yeah, it's a good clearance kick from Pollard. Dan Cole's, Corey Taylor putting a bit of pressure on the clearance kick, gets up to the 10-metre line, but as soon as he's sat back deep in the pocket, New Zealand All Blacks drop 3 players back into the backfield, so if that ball doesn't go off the field, then expect a counter-attack.
Put you down from Scott Barrett. Adesanya stays on his feet. There for Aaron Smith. The loop. Faf de Klerk read it well.
Just a little bit too intricate, I think, that time from New Zealand. The move off the front of the line, it was well executed initially, but then here we're looking for the pass out the back to Bridge, but it was just a little bit too deep.
Kieran Reid won the line out. Cody Taylor takes up his position at the back and sort of hands it to Aaron Smith. This worked in the first half. Oh, brilliant catch. Cheslin Colby. Colby's away. One-on-one against Richie Mo'unga. Colby, pace for the line. What a solo effort and what a tackle by Mo'unga. Bowden Barrett turns defence into attack. Here's Anton Linnett-Brown. Bowden Barrett again to Brother Scott. The interception by Pieter-Steph du Toit. Open play, no offside. The game suddenly flashes to life. Kolisi up to the 22. The run by Colby. Now the little charge by Pollard. Takes on Ryan Crotty. Malcolm Marks spins out of 2 tackles. Ade Savea brings him down in the end. Faf de Klerk waits. Dialende, Kolisi. There for de Klerk. Pieter-Steph du Toit. Dwayne Vermeulen pushes him on and goes over the top in support. The second rows are involved as ball carriers now. De Klerk. Etzebeth, the other second row. Mostert was the first. Pieter-Steph du Toit scores for the Springboks. What a start to the second half. Is this the comeback underway?
Well, we said he'd have a key role in this game. Pieter-Steph du Toit, the big number 7. He's such a thorn in any opposition side. He carries hard, but this time he uses his brain. After all the incessant direct running from Etzebeth and the big colleagues up front, he just scans for space right over the top of the ball. No defender in behind. Aaron Smith is in the line rather than in behind the breakdown. And there he goes, Pieter-Steph du Toit, unopposed over and swan dives under the posts.
And it's a little bit of an assist from Faf de Klerk there, because at scrum half looked as if he was going to pick up the ball, and Pieter-Steph du Toit did it instead. Andre Pollard adds the 2 points. 17 points to 10. We have game full on here in Yokohama.
Well, we said they had the players to do it. Sparked by Cheslin Colby's break down the right-hand side, and then Pieter-Steph du Toit. All the bulk, all the strength, all the power in the world, but it's his brain that wins him that try. Identifies the space right over the top of the ball. No defenders there. And the Springbok the bench are delighted. Good score by Pieter-Steph du Toit.
Bowden Barrett. Up it goes. Sam Cane not on the field yet. Or not back on the field, that is.
11!
Mostert. His last involvement led to a try. He's a long way from the line this time. Faf de Klerk sends it high. That's a very good catch, and the All Blacks underway. Ryan Crotty gone loose, but it's still there. Sevu Rees. Mapimpi Drags him down. It's gone loose though. Picked up by Willy Leroux, who has a little bit of a snap at one of the All Blacks. A little ticking off from the referee, but then sees the funny side of it.
Get away back to safety in the backfield, Leroux. And this is interesting. Sam Cane here.
Headband off. I think that's it.
It looks like we can maybe get more news than that from Rob on the touchline. Rob.
Yes, Sam Cane has been in a bit of a huddle for the last 4 or 5 minutes. 5 people debating whether he can come back or not. They've said not, but now they're about to bring out some more weapons. You can hear the noise lift slightly. Sonny Bill Williams has just put a significant frame in the shot. What a time for him to come out.
Time off. Guy, 6, please.
Well, it's interesting with Sam Cane, whether it took too long to do the assessment or whether he failed the assessment. I'm not quite sure, but it certainly looked as if he was wanting to make his way back onto the field as Springboks make a change, an influential change.
Yeah, 50 minutes and the captain is off. So Francois Lowe is going to replace Sia Kolisi, and the All Blacks ring changes. A significant one in the back. Sonny Bill Williams, wearing 22, comes on. And changes in the front row too. Angus Tarvao is on. And Ofa Tuanafasi is on as well. All change in the front row for the All Blacks.
Rush! Bye!
Faf de Klerk picks out from a very solid scrum. DLND thrown over by Sonny Bill Williams. De Klerk. Oh, that hasn't gone very far forward. It's gone back on the Springbok side though. Dwayne Vermeulen comes away. De Klerk in support. Willy Leroux in support. Cheslin Colby, brilliant pickup by the wing. Oh, look at the strength of the small man. Francois Lowe picks up, feeds Dutoy, who pushes Francois Lowe out of the way. De Klerk has to crawl towards the ball. Stephen Kitsoff, a prop, still on the field from the start. De Klerk waits. It's a new look South Africa. Vermeulen with the drive. De Klerk waits, picks up, looks again. Faf de Klerk. Pollard. Within 5 meters. De Klerk pauses. Finds Peter Steph Dutoy. Malcolm Marx in support. Another slight pause before it comes to Vermeulen again. Springboks have to put a few more forwards in. Have the All Blacks turned this over? It looks as if they have. Turnover ball for the All Blacks. Aaron Smith comes away with it. That went forward. No, it didn't. Sevu Rees inside his 22. At full speed, out of it. Bowden Barrett puts a boot to it, and the touchline doesn't win the battle. Damien DLND did ever so well to get back. Thought about the kick, decided to go on the charge. The game ebbing and flowing. Willy Leroux has to play scrum half. Pollard.
Now you lose 22.
Francois Lowe is just on. He's had to do a lot of running, wearing 20. Looks exhausted already. Marks over the ball, leaves it for Faf de Klerk. This one has a little bit more length on it. Mapimpi watches it, follows it. Does he claim it back for South Africa? No, there's a little knock-on before him.
Wow, take a breath, Ed. Oh. Take a breath. Wow, this game's really come to life. The South Africans are really buoyed by finding space. Dwayne Vermeulen started that minutes ago by finding space. This is it here. Fortunate really from the knockdown, but then Faf de Klerk working really hard on the inside, and look at the outside. Leroux. If this is a better pass to Colby, it's a try, but even that, Colby picks off his bootlaces, he spins, he fights, he gets there. Then after this, there's so many phases of attack from South Africa that are met with New Zealand defence, and then they turn it defence at attack. That's a wonderful kick from Boden Barrett. He kicks it deliberately.
The spin this takes.
He does. He spins it so it comes back in field. It stays in field. Dale Ende gets back, mops up, and it's absolute chaos. I think maybe I better get a word from Rob here. He's closer to the action than we are, but these guys must be exhausted, Rob.
They're absolutely flat out. We just need to go and check Cheslin Calder's ligaments, because I think they're made of metal. How he picked that ball up and span. There's few better in the world as of ages of him. Interesting now, Creel's come on as well. Am's made his way off. Really does look like the players are exhausted on the side of the pitch here.
I don't know what's worse, coming off the bench and trying to get your second wind, or being on for 54 minutes. Whichever way, it's exhausting.
Trevor Diakani comes on into the front row. Stephen Kitsoff remains on the field, as does Malcolm Marks. We're not up to the hour mark yet, which is the more traditional point of turnover when all the props start coming on. But this game has opened up. It's blossomed in the second half.
Sometimes for me, when South Africa do break the line, they look so dangerous, but then they go through the default of just being too direct at times, an extra pass or a little bit wider pass. I think they've got the players to really cause defences trouble, but they tend to use their power when they get close to the line, and they've one or two opportunities gone a begging this evening.
Niakane against Tuangafasi in the scrimmage. Smith. Is there room on this blind side, this short side? Faf de Klerk has to leave it alone. Aaron Smith does fancy the blind side, and look at that, that is second row Scott Barrett. I think they knew the penalty was coming. Faf de Klerk a bit too eager to get at the ball.
I hope he knows the penalty was coming. It's amazing how, you know, he's just too eager there, Faf de Klerk. Aaron Smith is almost inviting him in and then making sure Garces realises he's had a nibble, but it's almost as if when the pressure really mounts on a championship team like New Zealand, they know how to take the sting out of the game. I mean, they're after the end-to-end stuff. They took the scrum, they worked the scrum, they worked the penalty. They're now just outside the South African 22 with a throw in.
Picked off by South Africa, and they win the penalty. Bit of contact in the air, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so.
When you're off the ground, nobody can lay a finger on you.
He's in the air.
Contact in the air. Sam Whitelock that's maybe on Mostert, I think. He's a good defensive line-out, one of the best in the world. South African defensive line-out. Estebeth takes more line-out steals than anyone.
Really interesting now how South Africa try and create a score. They've been very good in this game, played a very structured, almost suppressive game. Now we'll have to open it up, really take it to this New Zealand team, but create something rather than go through all that structure. Get it open, break it up.
Well, it was an excellent steal by Franco Mostert. And the penalty from the ensuing, from the coming down at the top of his leap, has left Malcolm Marks here, just outside the All Blacks 22. South Africa take their time. They need composure now. And again, it's Mostert who supplies. Malcolm Marks tries to set up the driving maul. That's not going anywhere. In midfield for Faf de Klerk. Du Toit. They're going left to right and keeping going that way for the moment. When do they switch? Right now. Kitsoff. Open play. New Zealand think they've got the turnover. They haven't. It's in the hands of the big hands of Dwayne Vermeulen. Penalty advantage being played. South Africa have a free play. Slightly behind Pollard. That's Jesse Creel, a replacement off the bench. Pollard for the 3 points. Oh, that is superbly struck by Andre Pollard. Arji Sneeman from the bench offers his approval. What a kick by Pollard.
Oh, wonderful kick. They're just building the pressure here, South Africa, and then Andre Pollard really calm, sits back in the pocket. There's no pressure on him in terms of a chase, but it must be 30, 35 metres out, and he struck it absolutely perfectly. It's exactly what South Africa wanted. They didn't get the points for all the territory and possession in the first half. They're picking up points in the second. Just short of the hour mark, and it is a 4-point game now. Faf de Klerk to Irvin Etzebeth. Angus Taavao making a point. He says he's being held. Faf de Klerk concentrates on the kicking job. Mapimpi can't stop Sevu Rees, and here come the All Blacks through Richie Moana. Peter Steph Troy with the tackle. Little dink forward. Pollard should have read it. Very well read by the Springbok number 10. Willie Leroux this time. Sevu Rees turns, offers support to Bowden Barrett. Stay close, Sevu, this might be coming your way. Rees goes in just to help secure the ball. Scott Barrett in to George Bridge, who hasn't seen much of the ball this half. Kieran Reid, well taken by little Faf de Klerk. Adi Savea, no way through this time. Trevor Niakane ordered out of the way. He manages to get free. Up it goes again. Knock on by Rees. And Rees and Mapimpi. Yeah, it's a battle. And Rees is still wound up. Faf de Klerk's had a nibble at him as well.
And it's still going on a little bit.
He has to keep his composure.
Aaron Smith leads the field. On that scrum half for the All Blacks, TJ Perinara.
Yeah, TJ Perinara, he's a natural try scorer, supports really well on the inside. He'll bring energy and tempo. His box kicking's excellent as well, and that'll continue to be a threat.
Change at scrum half there for New Zealand. Change at hooker for South Africa. Mbongeni Mbonambi is on. Bongi Mbonambi. So, Stephen Kitsoff is the lone survivor of those that started in the front row.
There's Malcolm Marx and high fives all round. It brings a lot. He's a good hooker anyway, Malcolm Marx, but it brings so much in the open play. Better in the second half once they got a bit of control of the game. And the benches are getting emptied.
Early
replacements across the two teams left to come on in the field.
Game. Yeah, you're right. Oh. Trouble at scrum.
Maybe a result of. Listen to see what Sanchez is going to say.
Ben Smith, the last of the New Zealand replacements, about to make his entrance. Not a bad player to have on the bench. 35 tries for the All Blacks.
So I thought Garces was going to have a word with it, the scrum there, but he's just moved it to a more stable piece of tough. It'll be interesting to see what the Springboks do from here. I think they're better when they keep the ball in hand, obviously, and they've got some strike runners and the Pimpies there just to the right-hand side of the scrum with Dialenda and Pollard. I assume they'll maybe use Dialenda.
Yeah, they're tight
up the middle.
in midfield there, aren't they?
Yeah, look out for Damon Dialenda, the dark-haired number 12. He's a destructive ball carrier. And you can see the opposite side of the picture, Sonny Bill Williams standing in that channel defensively, looking to make the initial contact if it comes his way. If we get the scrum going.
Here's Faf de Klerk. Jesse Creel has come on in midfield. They haven't got any smaller with Jesse Creel there.
Well, it's a 23-man game now, isn't it? You know, making these changes in the kind of warm, humid air here in Yokohama. And almost said they look at this as a 7-game programme, so they're looking to try and manage their way through it, but they've got so much quality on both sides on the bench. It makes sense to bring them on the field.
The view from Spider Cam of the scrimmage. Little surge by the All Blacks. Faf de Klerk will want to get rid of this quickly. And it is disruptive work by the All Blacks. Sonny Bill Williams, excellent pass to Mo'unga. Excellent pass by George Bridge, just behind Bowden Barrett, who then knocks it on. But we go back to the penalty. Pressure at the scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a big scrum, wasn't it, by the All Blacks? Really drove the Springboks backwards and upwards. The front row standing up the penalty, and from the penalty advantage, the New Zealand All Blacks almost created something pretty special. Don't forget, they're lined up defensively or ready to defend, and then with a blink of an eye, they have to change into their attacking shape.
The All Blacks opt to go for their first points of the second half, but there you can see Cody Taylor gesturing, saying, we've done all the hard work here, where's the penalty? And Jérôme Gar says, it's there for you.
On the 15 or on the 14?
All Blacks scrum going forward.
24 minutes, nearly 25 minutes of the second half. New Zealand haven't scored in this period. Have a chance now.
Sorry?
Well, Mo'unga tried to sneak a few centimetres out of Jérôme Garcez there, having a little bit of a chat midfield, but he marched them back 2 or 3 feet. Might be all crucial with this wind picking up again. Anytime the ball goes slightly higher, it really does impact.
It was 3 from 4. Good goal kicker, as we said before. It's a similar angle to where Pollard struck over the early penalty, maybe 7 or 8 metres further forward, and he is into that breeze that Rob talks about, but it's an important time to score as well. This momentum has been on the scoreboard, certainly with South Africa, so if Rich Mo'unga can knock this over, big fill-up for the All Blacks.
Richie Mo'unga for the New Zealand's first points of the second half. It's more difficult than it looks into the breeze. It slides through, and New Zealand's lead, as you can tell, does grow. 20 points to 13.
It's a good kick by Mo'unga, wasn't it? And as we said before, that New Zealand, once they felt the pressure, almost losing control of the game a little bit, and the pressure coming on, they managed to win 1 or 2 penalties, ebb their way up the field and kick 3 points.
With the wind behind him, Pollard goes long. TJ Perinara with not much distance with the clearance.
Well, I think it was almost spooked by the speed at which Cheslin Colby got there. Usually you've got a lot more time than that when you catch a long kickoff, but the pace of Colby is just incredible.
And Bonambi prepares to throw. South Africa want to make a last front row substitution. Tendai Mtawarira is coming on. Stephen Kitsoff, the last front rower to take his leave. And on the All Black side too, there is a change. Ben Smith is on for his 81st cap. There goes Stephen Kitsoff.
Number!
It's been a tough day out there.
He's an all-action prop, Stephen Kitsoff. Is really difficult to put down, carries a little ball, and he's scrum well. A good innings, and Maria coming on.
Throws, up goes Mostert. Francois Lowe trying to prize the ball out of his grasp. Kieran Reid making a nuisance of himself. It's a good drive by the Springboks, and Bonambi at the tail hands it to de Klerk. Pieter-Steph du Toit twists, turns, oh, it's turned the wrong way, and that's, yeah, couldn't release the ball. Penalty to the All Blacks.
It'll be interesting to see that one again. I think it's a really good tackle initially from Sonny Bill Williams, the number 22, but then I think he almost rolled to his right-hand side, to the South African side, meaning that the ball couldn't be released. Maybe get another look at that. Hardy Sevilla, he's a menace, isn't he, in those breakdowns? He's been so effective with the ball in hand and running at space, but he's so good at getting his hands over the ball in that jackal position as well.
Beauden Barrett with the 15 shirt on his back. Now then, Chris, how have the All Blacks rearranged themselves? Does Barrett now go to 10?
Barrett be standoff, yeah, number 10. Ben Smith, fullback. And Sonny Bill Williams, Anton Leonard-Brown in the midfield, and still got Reece and Bridge in the wings.
Taken by Tui Polotu. TJ Perinara gives the orders, looks around, sees who's where. Cheslin Colby waits, rises high, he's been very good under the high ball. The South Africa wing, and picks up after releasing the ball. He had to release it first, which he did. Faf de Klerk. Colby sets off in pursuit. Beauden Barrett is tackled by Colby, but wriggles free. All Blacks up to half-line. Scott Barrett in possession, lays it back. Perinara. Pollard jumps and is put out of play by George Bridge. The last change for South Africa, R.G. Snyman comes on.
I'm sure you're on this one.
Significant shadow just cast over as he was getting his kit off. The guy is 6'10", Snyman. Keeping out for him, they're talking about him as being one of the most athletic players in the Springboks team. Not only 6'10", he's also 125 kilograms, so it'll be pretty handy. But what a shift from big old
Netzebeth is departing. R.G. Snyman is on. To Piloto. Pats it down to Cody Taylor. Out it comes. Scott Barrett again. The ball carrier there. Here's Sam Whitelock. Rob Francois Lowe over the ball. All Blacks still in possession. Perinara. Somebody else will have to play scrum half. It's Offa Tuungafasi, the prop. Beauden Barrett. Vermeulen over the ball. Referee lets play go on. Faf de Klerk over the ball. All Blacks somehow dig it back their way. Lynette Brown. Back. And the kick comes. And Willie Leroux kicks behind Sevu Reece. Sunnyville Williams, not known for his kicking game, but there is trouble. I think an offside line has been breached.
And the players continue to play on, and Jerome Garces is facing another way. He'll have to blow his whistle again. And eventually Love spreads. That's quite an important penalty, because Sonny Bill Williams has put a team in trouble there with that charge down kick.
And way back we have an injury. This doesn't look too good. Pieter-Steph du Toit. Knee, perhaps.
And that was actually in the play that came after the whistle. So it'd be unfortunate if he has picked up something there. As you see the guys who are taking a breath. It's a Beth and Kitsoff on the bench, and Rassie Erasmus, the head coach, looks on. He'll be concerned about his big number 7.
No.
That's That's the face of a player who's coming off.
He's such an important player, Peter Steph Totoy. Yes, he scored that try, and he's big in the line out. He's massive in the driving maul. He carries well. He's added a really attacking offload element to his game.
Sorry?
Shame. There's Herschel Janches on the field somewhere.
Herschel Yankees is already there on the field. This is Bowden Barrett, who, while Peter Steph Totoy has been receiving treatment, has been making his preparations to take his first kick at goal.
It's an important one as well, Eddie.
This to make it a 2-score lead. South Africa will have to score at least twice. Bowden Barrett, straight through the middle, or with a little curl through the middle, and the All Blacks score their second penalty. Peter Steph Totoy is back on his feet and running.
Well, this is a penalty for offside. Willeroo kicks it, and the players ahead of the ball advance before they've been put onside. Quite rightly a penalty, and well struck an important time, and an important kick from Bowden Barrett.
It's Sam Whitelock who catches the restart. TJ Perenara up towards Dwayne Vermeulen. Yankees. Mostert can't take it. It went backwards.
Yeah.
Niakane tidies up. 3/4. Haven't seen much of the ball, but Jesse Creel up to halfway line. Yankees, Pollard wasn't really expecting it. R.G. Snyman, it's gone forward. Mistake by the Springboks.
Yeah, they can see that New Zealand defence, just that extra 3 points, putting them just a little bit further ahead, it gives them, you know, a lot more comfort, and they're comfortable in their line speed there in defence. They're getting in position. It buoys them a little bit, and they come off the line and force the other. Faf de Klerk looks on, doing Vermeulen on his 50th cap, occasionally his 50th cap, all 50 starts as well, 0 off the bench. And you can see that the carries, more carries from South Africa, more metres from New Zealand, because New Zealand tend to attack space. They like to attack space. It's very generalisation, I know, but the Springboks tend to go direct first, whereas the All Blacks look for space, therefore gaining more metres per carry.
10 points, the difference.
Crouch!
Just over 6 minutes to play.
Mine! Sit! No, stay behind the ball, behind the ball.
The All Black scrimmage, the Creeks having been powerful, it's the All Blacks' turn to be uncomfortable at the set piece. Peter Steph Totoy back in the action, wearing 7, losing his shirt. The All Blacks will be very happy to just retain possession now then. Who's chasing? Sonny Bill Williams can't get there. Vinny Leroux, Dialende. Colby waiting on the outside. Has to be patient. Yankees gone loose again. Monambi has to turn and go backwards. Yankees waits again. Colby does receive the ball. I don't think he was expecting. Colby's free though. The brilliance of the wing. One-on-one. Beats Bowden Barrett. Still Cheslin Colby. What a runner he is in broken play. Play on, says the referee. The All Blacks have turned it down under real duress. They've not only turned it down, but TJ Perenara comes away with it. Anton Linnett-Brown in support. And now the kick downfield. Vinny Leroux, who began it all. The Springboks are down to 14 players. Trevor Niakane is limping off the field. Herschel Yankees takes the ball forward. 2 Springbok players in trouble. Faf de Klerk has to help.
No, it's just loses structure. Cheslin Colby's down getting treatment. What a star he is, an absolute world star, and Hopefully he's okay, but Nkane is getting help from the field with Faf de Klerk. This is Colby. Just look how there's nothing on here, but he's absolutely electric when he gets the ball in hand. He still can't be tackled. He's got about 2 more tackle breaks left in him. There's one, there's another, but Ardi Sevilla wins his possession. Have you just runs on.
It's not a tackle. Where does he hurt himself?
Perhaps his ankle there. Anton Leonard-Brown.
Perhaps it's there as he goes down in the end. Brilliant run by Cheslin Colby, but he's still limping.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Puffs out his cheeks.
It was such a crucial penalty, turnover, won by Ardi Sevilla. But this man here on your screen, Cheslin Colby, he's in the team that's had probably less of the action, but he's been one of the star players. So dangerous a ball in hand. Is he? Another change for New Zealand. Shannon Frizzell joining us.
Shannon Frizzell comes on into the second row, just double checking that. There he is. That's Patrick Tuipoloto and Tuifasi. Scott Barrett has left the field. Sam Whitelock is still on. So Shannon Frizzell goes into the back row. TJ Perinara prepares to feed the scrum. Adi Savia is in the number 8 position. Kieran Reid on the flank. Here comes Savia. Feeds Sonny Bill Williams. Oh, it's rare that Sonny Bill goes to ground without offering a pass. TJ Perinara, time ticking away. The All Blacks in possession. That's really well claimed by the All Blacks from the aerial game. That's gone loose, but again, the scraps are going the All Blacks' way. Sonny Bill Williams again. Perinara to Kieran Reid. Now the flanker from the last scrum. Sam Whitelock drives it on. Vermeulen barged off the ball. Taken up by Tuifasi. Brilliant hands. Ben Smith, George Bridge had a quiet second half, but still a threat. Adi Savia bounces back to his feet. Good hands again, Kieran Reid this time. On we go, Patrick Tuipolotu. Perinara delivers us to Sam Whitelock. Ben Smith. Dangerous Ben Smith finding front row forwards in front of him. This is George Bridge again. Perinara checks. Here we go. Drive up by Frizzell. Barrett. The All Blacks happy to hang on to possession nearly into the last minute of play. Kieran Reid has to do a little bit of protection. Here it is though. Swift hand that Colby couldn't quite get his hands on it. Has gone forward. One last scrummage. Ben Smith goes back to fullback.
Yeah, and we're looking at that man on your screen, number 15, the MasterCard player of the match. This is All Black 15, Gordon Barrett. He's been outstanding. He's created tries. He's been heroic in defence. He's stepped up and kicked the goal. He's played 2 different positions. He's been outstanding. The player of the match is Gordon Barrett. Ardi Sevilla has worked really hard up front as well. George Bridge, and he can't ignore Cheslin Colby, that man there who's stretching off. But the MasterCard player of the match is Gordon Barrett.
Cheslin Colby wanders behind the scrummage. Just have a little break in play here. It is all done really. Herschel Yankees prepares to feed the scrum, but there's nothing South Africa can do about this 10-point deficit.
It's a 10-point deficit, and if they get within 7, they can pick up a bonus point, which is, you know, in a group like this could become really important. That's Mbombani, I think, maybe with his head in his hands, or Nikani, sorry, who's left us with it. Hopefully not too bad an injury.
Yeah, Trevor Nikani.
But there's an opportunity here for 20 seconds to go to try and find something for the match from South Africa.
Yankees waits. The scrum marches forward. Penalty to South Africa. Even if we go into the red, we'll have time to take the penalty. Andre Pollard for as much distance as he can. And we'll have the line out.
And that's a good effort there from Andre Pollard. Takes it deep into the All Blacks half. Willie Lou still on the field, and he's a left-footer, a natural left-footed kicker, so it may have been an option to have him to push it right down that touchline, but Pollard stepped up.
The bonus point system. A bonus point for 4 tries, and a bonus point for losing by 7 points or fewer. The Beast delivers the message to Mbonambi. RG Snyman fires it down at Yankees, who takes it well. Real width to Willie Leroux. Mapimpi knocked it forward. That should be the end of the game. Forward off the South African hand. Jérôme Garcès blows his whistle. Disappointment for Makazole Mapimpi, for Willie Leroux. Delight for Sonny Bell. Didn't have much game time tonight. His chances will come later in the tournament. The All Blacks, the defending champions, off to a winning start. They have beaten South Africa by 23 points to 13. There we go. The South Africans have to yield before the back-to-back champions. New Zealand haven't lost a game at the World Cup. Well, they have never lost a game in the pool stages. They last lost a quarter-final game in France back in 2007.
Yeah, that's a 29th victory in a row in the pool stages, the 15th in a row in Rugby World Cup. They really are an impressive outfit, and they had to work hard for that. You know, a period of dominance in the first half, gave them a 17-3 lead at half-time. The South Africans came back, challenged really well at the start of that second half, but then the All Blacks pulled away.
The sort of difference was that South Africa had 2 quarters of dominance, the first and the third, but in the first they couldn't score more than 3 points.
Well, that's it, and they learned from that in the second half. Pollard with that drop goal really helped progress that on only 3 points, but the period of dominance that New Zealand had in the first half was 2 wonder tries in a, I think it was a 4-minute period. First was George Bridge, second was Scott Barrett, and then they had the composure and the experience out there in the field, led by that man in your picture, Kieran Reid, to kind of weather the tide when South Africa came back into it after half-time, scored the try through Peter Steph du Toit. But it's an impressive start on an impressive opening weekend in Rugby World Cup.
Cody Taylor, who came on at half-time. So, the All Blacks happy enough. Right, down to Rob.
Sia Khaleesi, South Africa captain, clearly not a happy person at the moment, but if you could summarise that game for us, what would you say?
No, I think we didn't start well today. You know, they started very well. They handled our kicking game very well, and I think a little bit of the physicality as well in the first half. I think we took too long to get into the game.
And how is it going behind New Zealand? How do you try and get back into the game?
Yeah, I think we stuck to our guns, and I think our plan worked in the second half. You know, we wanted to score first, and it happened, but we couldn't capitalize on opportunities.
Unfortunate there. You should go and join the rest of your teammates. Bad luck with the game. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It's worth pointing out that it's by no means over for South Africa. Both the top 2 teams go through from each pool. This is Pool B. The All Blacks, the winners, take their bow. Happy. South Africa will be looking very much at the runners-up spot. Their captain, Kieran Reid, is also down with Rob.
All Blacks captain Kieran Reid joining me now. Kieran, really tough start there, but what an incredible purple patch. 17 points in 5 minutes. What were you thinking when that started flowing for you?
Yeah, look, it was a heck of a test match. As you said, it was the full 80 minutes right to the end there that we had to work. And, you know, I guess fortunate sometimes just happens in those couple of moments, and we managed to take them. That's probably the only difference in the game.
Did you notice that shift of tempo? Started off very aggressive from South Africa, but you managed to get hold of that game?
Yeah, look, I think we had to defend a little bit, obviously early, and, you know, when you don't have the ball, you can't do too much. So when we did get opportunities, you know, obviously we wanted to try and speed the game up. Pretty tough out there, though, pretty tough conditions.
Well, big smiles on your face, always good to see. Thank you for your time. Anything you want to say to the crowd?
Oh, just a big thanks. You know, it's awesome the support we've had so far, and you guys are fantastic tonight. Cheers.
Every reason to be happy. Here's the opposite. Picture 8 disappointment there. Damien Dialende and Philly LaRue. It's nothing really went for them when they needed to score their points.
Yeah, they do have an attacking intent and attacking talent out there. It's important that, you know, even at this early stage of tournament, that the injuries aren't too bad either.
These are the players. Here's their coach. Rassie Erasmus can just pause and ponder. First of all, here are some of the statistics of what was an enthralling game from start to finish.
Yeah, pretty steady at the set piece, wasn't it? Handling errors, 14 from South Africa, 8 from New Zealand. That's quite high, but penalties conceded 9 for South Africa, conceding 9 penalties. It's too big a difference between the 9 and the 4.
Interesting how many tackles were
missed. A lot
of
tackles missed, and that's, I suppose, there was a period of the game where it was quite open. It was one end to the other. But if you're missing 35 tackles, defence coaches will not be happy. Possession's fairly even. Territory, well, it doesn't tell the picture, does it? 65% to South Africa. The scoreline 25-13 to New Zealand.
Yeah, it's all over at the International Stadium here in Yokohama. Look at that. The pitch hardly looks as if a game of rugby's been played on it. But it has been a disappointing night for Rassie Erasmus.
Rassie Erasmus, South Africa head coach. There's a smile on your face. I'd love to know what you're thinking after that performance.
No, I think they obviously deserve to win. I mean, 2 tries to 1, and then a penalty count. I think 10 penalties against us and only 2 against them. You know, that's great discipline by them, and it showed on the scoreboard.
The 17 points in 5 minutes was the big story of the game. What were you saying at half-time?
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, I mean, they scored a try from we trying funny things here in our own half, and then they scored a try from that. And then I thought after half-time we clawed our way back, and then we just couldn't convert when we were inside the 22. And as I say, you know, if you concede 10 penalties against them, you know, they will kick them all over, and we couldn't.
Well, no team have won a World Cup having lost a game in it. What do you say to that?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a challenge we'll have to now take head on. You know, our history is there to break, and unfortunately we've put ourselves into a position now, and now we have to fight. But I think we can't moan about this performance. They really played well. I think the referee was good, and we just have to work really hard.
Well, humble words there. Thank you for your time, Rassie.
Thanks, appreciate that.
A smile on the coach's face, disappointment, but the campaign is by no means over. More games to come in the pool, and nothing on the scale of this. Chris, I mean, when you face the All Blacks, and after that you have Italy, Namibia and Canada, you can still see a route ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to hear now from the winning coach, Steve Hansen.
Steve Hansen, New Zealand head coach. You've extended your winning streak in the Rugby World Cup to 15 games. That must please you.
Well, it certainly does under the circumstances. Yeah, like today was a big game for both sides, and you know, fortunately for us, we came out on top. You know, but it was another titanic struggle between New Zealand and South Africa, and hopefully the people watching here today, you know, enjoyed it and got excited by it.
And you had your big lead, 17-3. Did you think at some point South Africa would come back in?
Oh, they're never out of it. You know, they're always a team that'll come back. You know, they're a little bit like ourselves. Like they don't die, they stay and fight in the fight, and you know, they took a good opportunity and scored.
A significant break now before Canada. It's 10 days off. You think you guys will need a bit of a break?
Yeah, well, there's a group of them will do, and there's another group that'll be keen to get on the park and have their turn to play. So, yeah, we'll use the next couple of days wisely and then get back into work.
Brilliant. Thank you for your time. Cheers.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Steve Hansen, he did smile. Doesn't often, but there's a lot more humanity to Steve Hansen than he sometimes would have you believe.
Yeah, it was important to get off to a winning start against such a big opposition. I think he'll be happy with that. I think he'll be happy with the victory, obviously, and he'll be happy with the way the guys performed.
Okay, here we go. The player of the game.
Fantastic to see Bowden Barrett getting the MasterCard Player of the Match. First and foremost, how's the nose? You cop a bit of a shot.
It's a bit sore, yeah. It's never good getting a boot to the nose, especially from a big lad like Dwayne. So, you're expected to take a few bumps when you play the Springboks. So, yeah, it was certainly worth it.
And it looked like a really tough game, but you really did have your freedom. You enjoyed the role again at fullback. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was great. We got to throw the ball around a bit. Sometimes probably too much. It was a bit greasy out there, but you know, there was some expansive rugby, which for a spectacle, I guess that's why people come and watch footy. So if we can keep doing that all tournament, that's what we're here for.
Well, absolutely outstanding effort from you, apart from the fact your brother outscored you. I'm not sure he'll be letting you forget that one.
I'm not too worried, mate. It was good to see him cross the line.
Well done.
Thank you.
The Barrett brothers, both on the scoreboard. Scott with a try, Bowden with a conversion.
An important penalty in an important time.
So. Well, this is how the game unfurled. Bowden Barrett, who was to become the player of the match, got us underway. Lovely night in Yokohama, and the Springboks took possession and really carried the ball forward for the first quarter, but then the All Blacks so dangerous when they have a chance.
Yeah, it's just taking the opportunity, isn't it? It was a wonderful break up the right-hand side, and then just the awareness of Bowden Barrett to attack the space and George Bridge to follow him through the big gap. This is the first try. That's a gap there. Accelerate through, he's too quick, and then he has a presence of mind to win the space, free his hands, and George Bridge attacks that ball, attacks the support line, and gets over. This is the second try here. Coles with a wonderful offload out of tackle, and Anton Leonard-Brown just almost waltzes across field until he sees a bit of a hole to accelerate through, and there's Scott Barrett this time, socks down, knees up, as he said at half-time, running the support line right up the middle of the field.
A spate of scoring, 17 points in 5 and a bit minutes.
Yeah, it was 5 minutes. It was 2 tries in 4 minutes, really, wasn't it? And that was the story of the match in many ways. Again, George Bridge working hard on that inside, and that came after a long phase of play on penalty advantage, and eventually South Africa just run out of tacklers. South Africans did come back into the game in the second half. Faf de Klerk feeding Etzebeth, and then this was after Ches and Colby had brought the stadium to life at the right-hand side. Peter Steph du Toit notices there's no one in behind, attacks right over the top of the ball. The quickest place to attack is right there.
It's amazing, there was no cover there at all. It's a little disguised by Peter Steph du Toit and by Faf de Klerk. Drop goal, Andre Pollard.
It's 40 metres out, struck really sweetly, isn't it? And it was just at a period where South Africa were gaining momentum. They didn't get the points for the possession test in the first half. They chipped away in the second, but the All Blacks came back in and got the victory.